networking technologies. And we've been in market for about 18 months. The company's about 3.5 years old, growing very, very rapidly.
What's the name of your product and how do you add value to your customers?
So the platform is called the Adaptive Security Platform. It's a software platform. It has two components, a client component that runs in servers and virtual machines and containers, and then a giant brain that we call a policy compute engine that manages all of our services. The principal way that people use Illumio and how we add value is allow them to micro-segment as well as provide visibility to those interior of their data centers in public cloud without any dependencies on the infrastructure. For our customers, what they're really trying to do is really gain much better visibility and control on what's going on in their environments, and it allows them to do things. It allows them to migrate workloads to the cloud. It allows them to adapt to new technologies like containers. If they're doing M&A, it gives them the ability to really have visibility and understanding of the company they're acquiring, and then to actually wrap security around it and move it. Or if they're re-platforming, or they're adopting a technology like Nutanix. So when they're dynamic, distributed, hybrid, heterogeneous, we do that. And it's very easy to use. That giant brain does a lot of the work, so it doesn't require a lot of manual intervention. Never need to know things like IP addresses, so it really lets them adapt to a much more dynamic world. Interesting.
What would you say is your unique selling proposition?
Because Illumio is not dependent on any form of infrastructure, our customers can be as heterogeneous and dynamic as they like. So if they're experimenting with containers, they can extend their security policy to do that. Most of the traditional solutions are anchored to some form of infrastructure. For example, NSX is very much tied to ESX, right? It's part of the hypervisor. Security and Amazon are tied to security controls. Illumio doesn't really care, right? So our uniqueness is that no matter what you're running, any form of compute, bare metal, virtual machines, containers, or any environment, we're going to span those environments. And customers are increasingly heterogeneous as the world re-platforms and makes these changes, so they can bridge their existing environment into their new environment from a security point of view. And that's what makes Illumio very much unique today.
What's the number one reason why people choose Illumio?
There's usually a compelling event. Right? There's no budget for Illumio when you first hear about us. Probably people watching this broadcast will have not heard of Illumio before, but we're going to fix that. Promise you that. So, but something has happened. The worst case happened is they've gotten breached and they don't really know what's going on. But more importantly, they said their CFO told their CIO that we're going to reduce our infrastructure spend, you're going to need to adapt and move to Amazon, or they're making an acquisition